This is how I lost negative 2.5 RR. Holy. Get straight into the trade recap that we took today on the EURUSD. It was a loss. I made a mistake. And let's get straight into it. Right? Higher time frame. We're in the fourth week of the month. And that's a big ass week over here. In the fourth week of the month, as you guys know, the fourth week we usually always want to have a retracement to close of the monthly range. Fourth week retracement, fourth week retracement, fourth week retracement, fourth week, nothing here. A fourth week right over here, retracement, fourth week right over here, retracement, right? But that right there told me enough for the monthly open, high, low, close concept that the fourth week is always going to be a retracement, right? Because open, first week, you could do whatever, make the low second week, and eventually make the high third week. And the fourth, the fourth week usually always make the high, then goes back down lower, or the third week, right? But it's not always gonna be the same, right? It's always gonna move around, right? First week, the third week does whatever. The fourth week resets, meaning you have to go retrace with a monthly range, right? Monthly did a big ass range here, right? So that's why. So now lower time frame, we had a classic expansion profile too. Monday high of the week, so we're looking for a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday continuation. Eventually Friday, I think probably tomorrow we're gonna be looking for another continuation to the downside. It looks like it right here, right now, right? We as well have that's all we have. As well, we have a daily IRL right over here to ERL. But that to me, then I'm saying I didn't look at it because fourth week is all the months of retracement. Because yesterday, the past 2 days, I was looking for a longs. I got stopped out left and right, right? So I was like, okay, today I'm gonna look for a short because the fourth week I learned from my lesson, right? Eventually, this today, I wasn't supposed to be in a trade, right? And a trade, but what I'm saying, we're gonna talk about that as well. But in a 4 hour time frame, we had a range high, range low. As I got purchased, we're looking for sales. We had a New York Rosa profile one accumulation, 5% non-expansion, not expected upside. Ah! Okay, we as well had an SMT by that time as well. We had a daily range, super high, super low, stable high. Market, this is premium, this is discount. And premium, you want to sell, discount, you want to buy. So we're in premium, so you want to sell. We as well had a premium key level, so there's edges and highs, and we had a bearish order flow. You see, market was constantly pushing above highs, broke with the lows, rushing over the high, broke with the lows, right? So I was overall having a bearish setup here, bearish bias, bearish narrative, very strong liquidity. Now, lower time frame, on the 5-minute, 15-minute time frame, there was a legit high. Market stabbed into it. We didn't have the right time to purge, which was between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And this is where the mistake comes from, right? Our number one happened from the body. As you guys know, for our number one, there's scenarios for number one. A body candle closure is usually a lower probability, higher risk to reward ratio. A full candle closure of a CISD or whatever order block is a higher probability, but lower risk to reward ratio, right? And a consecutive candle closure. So let's just say this bullish, the two consecutive bullish candles to the upside. Market closes below one of the candles full range. It closes below the next candle's body. Eventually, the body would be considered as a high probability as well as a midterm midterm risk to roll ratio, right? Because we give you like less RR, right? But it would be higher probability. You can see in this case when it closed below it, it tapped the body without doing a full candle closure or a consecutive candle closure. The only time I use a body of a auto block is if it has a consecutive candle. So if you get a consecutive candle closure without tapping the body and giving us a full candle closure below one of the consecutive candle, full range wick and body, as well as the next candles, saying body eventually from the body or the wick doesn't really matter. But we do need to have a full candle closure above the one of the consecutive candles, full range, and we close above the next candles, consecutive candles, body. We could take the body as our model one. If it doesn't, we could take the full range, but if it just goes below the body, we cannot take it because of low probability. You guys know we want to focus on the highest probability as well because I'm risking 2% per trade and funded accounts. So this trade I risked about 2.1%, and I lost 2.5% because of the prop firm, right? Not prop firm, like slippage, market stabbed into real hard, right? Say a big ass candle to the upside, which is fantastic, right? Who doesn't want that, right? And what was the mistake here? Wrong number one. And I first of all, like when I entered, entered at a threshold, right? So I was like, okay, if I lose this trade, I have a reason. I mean, not a reason to, like, not an excuse, but I have a lesson, right? As you guys know, like, I don't like to. One of the guys came, my boy Benny came to the stream, said, "Yo, cut it off early. It looks like he wants to go higher." It didn't went higher, but the thing is, I do not like to. What I'm saying, it's not that I'm feared at all. It's not, I'm saying, it's not about me trying to make money, right? It's not about me, like, trying to fix it up, right? Because I'm trying to focus on the long term, right? So it's like, to me, it's like a, if I cut it off too early, I'm a pussy. You know what I'm saying? I don't over sexualize trading, right? I do not try to make trading seem like a big thing, right? To me, like, I hate being a pussy, so I am not gonna be a pussy. I'm gonna let the trade run, right? Even if it's a loss, this trade looked like it was going to go loss, because I then will see a expansion, reaccumulation, another expansion, right? I knew it was gonna go to a loss right when I saw this candle close bullish. Right when I saw this candle close, I was like, it's going to go stop me out, right? Doesn't matter if it goes right back down, it's gonna go stop me out, right? Because it's gonna do accumulation, eventually manipulation, expansion, right? We did have a long opportunity, but that long was not our marble one. I mean, not marble one. It didn't have a low price, so I didn't take it. But the shorting entry right over here, only mistake was we entered a threshold. Look, fine, we entered a threshold, right? But our marble one is not right. So the lesson is, even when I have the even if I'm entering the threshold, because last time I entered the threshold, I entered when the market, what do you call it? Yeah, my last entry, if I go back in time, I could just show you guys here, right? Our last entry, right? Was this the threshold entry as well? I'll go back here. Was it this one? It was this one right over here. Right over here, threshold entry, right? I entered at a threshold. And I this one, this one with this one, right? The problem is not the threshold. The reason this went in our way was primarily because it's not because of the threshold. It's because of the number one. This gave us the right number one. This gave us the full candle closure, right? It didn't tap the body of this candle. It didn't tap the body of this candle, close full candle range, and eventually, then we're about to take the threshold, right? Because the candle's kind of big. But in this case, you can see that gave us a right number one. But in this one right over here, what we just took, go over here. If you just show me the chart, man. Right? So the one we took over here, not the right model one. The only time, not the right scenario of a model one. The only time you look the body of a model one, if it's a consecutive candle closure and it closes below or above one of the full candles range, wick and body, and close above the next candle's body of the consecutive candle, then I will highlight take the body of it. But if it just closes below body without the consecutive candle closure, I cannot take the body because it's really low probability setup. And in this case, same entry threshold, but the marble one was not right. Well, that other one I just showed you guys, the marble one was right for the threshold. So even to take a threshold, the threshold was fine, right? So this is like literally our mistake we had. All fine, right? Lessons. But wondering, well, you lost 10%, you're down -5 RR. Are you gonna make out a drawdown? Yes, I will. This week I'm still up 3 RR, 3.3, yeah, just 3 RR, right? I'm still up 3 RR, 3.5 or 3 RR. It doesn't really matter how much I'm up, right? We're still up 3.5 RR. This doesn't mean anything. -5 RR doesn't really mean anything because, you know what I mean? It's trading. It's going to happen. All I did was today I milked out of the lesson, right? I milked the lesson, which is all I care about, right? Because now I have that in my arsenal. Right? You can see me not being emotional. You're gonna see me being sad, like, yo, Taki, fuck, You guys gotta know, like, you guys gotta stop over sexualizing trading. It's just trading, saying It's just candles going up and down. Are you like, to me, have being emotional from a candle, like a candle, bro, is gay. This may seem like, you know, this is like literally the best way for you guys to stop being emotional. Are you really gonna let a candle, a fucking monitor, let you get emotional, right? Like they just go hit your stop loss. Okay, it's fine, right? Over the long term, you're profitable, so it doesn't really matter, right? Loss are gonna happen. It's a lesson, right? Without the pitfalls, without the losses, there should be no wins, right? You can never go in a success never comes easy, right? Success breeds losses, right? If when you lose, you're highlighted to win, right? Because you're losing, you're improving, and eventually you're gonna win, right? If you don't stop. And so the trade recap. And today we're not supposed to have any setup because we took the wrong setup. Setup was lesson setup, but was this our actual setup? No, because it didn't give it the model one. So this is not our setup. And market did go approach above the high, but at 11:30, and this would have not been our execution, by the way, simply because of the timing of the purge happened outside of the 10:30 zone, right? So we were not taking that trade. You can see that's why I tell you guys 10:30 a.m. always tells a story. 10:30 hits, market goes one direction. Fantastic, right? I would rather take this and then hold it straight for a day and eventually get stopped out, right? Because my model was wrong, right? I'd rather get stopped out quick. This is why I like waiting till 10:30 a.m. and always look at the market at 10:30 a.m. Eventually, let it do whatever it can do. Because why? Because 10:30 a.m. will always move to one direction, right? Which is fantastic. And yeah, man, you just gotta accept losses, accept the risk. I'm now negative 5 hour. Will I recover? I definitely will. I believe in power, but right now I think I will risk 1% until I get out of drawdown, until like I'm down like negative 2 RR. I eventually can get out from there, start risking 2% back. As of right now, I'll risk only like 1 RR until I get out of drawdown or get out of break even, right? Or unless or like I'm down like or I'm like at least near the break even stage where I am down negative 1 RR, then eventually like use 2% to get out of the drawdown stage. But the reason we're doing this is because so I'm now negative 5 RR. So the next trade take gonna be negative 7 RR eventually. This next 5 RR we should definitely be able to make it back. Saying our past 2 days of bulge is wrong. That's why we lost negative 3 RR. Now we lost a negative 2.5 RR again. Fantastic. I am not feared whatsoever. I don't feel emotion. It just it's just trading, right? It's gonna happen. But we make the thing lesson out of it. Now this lesson right over here is in my arsenal. Very happy because I don't want to take the same loss as I stated this before. I do not want to take like these losses in the future. I want to take probability losses, right? I want to take losses where I don't make any mistake, where my technical edge is perfect. It's a market thing, right? In the future, let's just say, in the future I'll be funded with what, $1 million fundings, right? And I take a loss and eventually losing what, negative 10,000. So in this case, I'm only losing what, 1,000. In the future, I'm losing negative 10,000, right? That's way more capital, right? So this is why at the earlier stages you want to take the most risk. You lose, risk. You know why? Because you're gonna be built up on once you're in a million, once you have $1 million in capital or whatever, right? Let's just say 500,000 or 2 million, 3 million, right? I know most of us will have that amount of capital. I definitely will. When you have that much, you're losing way more. So if you're making these mistakes, then when you have those, we have bigger, larger size, larger capital size, and we're losing there, then losing 30,000, 40,000, 80,000, right? Some of us can even lose 100,000 is a most simple mistake that we did not solve during our early stage when we lost only like 500, 200, or 1,000 or 2,000, right? But yeah, this loss is accepted, right? As you guys know, I accept the risk of blowing that account. I accept the risk of not getting paid out. I accept the risk of not getting funded, right? I always accept the risk, right? When I lose, I feel nothing. When I'm right, I feel nothing. When I'm wrong, I feel nothing. And what was the next one? Yeah, it's nothing personal, strictly business. A losing trade does not phase me. A winning trade does not excite me. A missed trade does not confuse. A missed trade does not concern me. I'm cold, calm, the losing streak or winning streak. I expect to lose, especially in the long term. And yeah, it's just losing streak. You know, it is what it is. We're gonna lose, right? We're gonna lose. It's gonna happen. But yeah, today when I was in a gym, I was constantly looking at the chart. Not for the sake of like, yo, where's it gonna go hit take profit for a stop loss, right? For the sake of me controlling my emotions, like let me watch the chart stop me out. And I literally working out, constantly watching my phone, right? You know, I didn't watch my phone like, saying look at it, right? But I put it on the floor and I just had trading view opened and I was just looking at it, right? For like 40 minutes because I was just working out on the chest, right? So I was working out, I was looking at it, I was like, you know, I felt emotions, right? I felt emotions creeping in, right? Those emotions creeped in. I was like, damn, I lost negative 2 RR, negative 2.5 RR. Fuck. It creeped in. I was like, you know, when that happened, that was a good thing. You know why? Because now when I feel those emotions, I could conquer it, right? So now these emotions can see me not even be emotional because I conquered it, right? I did not let that affect me. I was like, yeah, probably to game. You know what I'm saying? I accept the risk. I did all those, things where you say, I don't feel nothing, right? So, and when that happened, that pushed me to work out harder. I was like, damn, fuck, let me let me get a PR. I hit like 190 in no 190, not 190, like 205 in bench press, right? It was a Smith machine though, it didn't really count, right? But I was like, damn, right? It got me better because like that emotion state I was like my heart was kind of beeping a little bit, right? You guys know something guys get that emotional. I was like, damn, how the fuck am I that a pussy? Am I letting a chart, a candle, letting me get emotional? Am I gay? I literally said, am I gay? Eventually saw emotions went away, right? I was like, am I gay? Am I feeling this emotion? Am I that gay, bro? Like, are you gay? And I'm not gay. I know I'm definitely not gay. That's why my emotion stopped, right? I was like, that's why I looked at the chart. I saw myself lose because it's a good thing, right? If you see yourself lose and you control your impulses throughout the laws, I could have got out in here. I did not choose to. Why? I could have gone out here, here, here. I didn't choose to because if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose all the way. If I'm to win, I'm going to win to all the way, right? If I go over here, if the market is only have 70% of, if the market is over here, right? Let's just say market somehow goes down here, right? If the market's down here 70% out of near my take profit, I am not going to get out early. I'm not going to get a insurance, right? Saying that some people say you can have the insurance if you get out, saying partial, most of your position at the 70% near your take profit. I will not do that, right? As I said, if I'm going to lose, if I made a mistake, I want that mistake to stop me out full to the mask. And if I want to win, I want to win to the mask, right? To the mask, to the fullest potential. Because if I'm losing and that goes on a loss and I learn a lesson from it and I know I made a mistake, I want it to happen because my mind next time like, yeah, cannot make a mistake. Last time I lost this much because I made this mistake. I cannot let that happen again, right? I do not let it happen again. I do never make the same mistake over and over, right? And that's why that's why I literally I knew I was gonna lose. I knew I was going to lose right when I saw this big push to the upside. I was like, there's 100% chance of me losing, right? So I was like, you know, I'm not gonna get out. I'm gonna hold it simply because why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not hold it? Why not hold it to the max, right? Because if I'm gonna lose, I want to lose for the max. Like I do not like it. I do not like to get out early, right? For me, getting out early is like girl thing. Right? I'm not. That's like emotional. Being emotional, letting a candle, a chart, a monitor get in your emotion, right? Like if this is like literally when you're like let's say if you're fighting, you're being emotional. Okay, that's fine because you're fighting. Your life is on risk. But you're letting a candle be emotional, right? If you're getting your ass beat, you're sad. Like damn, he beat my ass. You could be emotional and then like because you got your ass beat. But you letting a candle you letting a candle get in your emotion, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I don't feel any emotions. It is what it is. We learn lesson. I put in my arsenal where for threshold entries, I must have the right model one or otherwise I will not be entering the trade. Or otherwise I don't enter the trade, right? Even with the threshold entry, I must have the right model one. And thank you for watching. You guys, see you guys later. like, comment, subscribe, share, and show my Discord. Link is down below. Peace.